JBN, we keep you informed. I am Michelle Jones, and in the news, decomposing bodies of man and woman found in Clarendon. Police detectives in Clarendon are investigating the discovery of two decomposing bodies in agronomy district near Rhinesbury in the parish. Operations Commander for Clarendon, Superintendent Christopher Phillips, said residents stumbled on the bodies in a yard around 7:30 a.m. Thursday and summoned the police. The victims have been identified as 44-year-old Ricardo Blackstock and 49-year-old Juliet Watson. Blackstock is from Rock, Clarendon. Some time ago, Watson returned from overseas to live in Jamaica. However, the police could not immediately provide further details about her. New Year's Eve tragedy: a 6-year-old boy drowns in Clarendon. It has been a somber start to the new year for one Clarendon family whose 6-year-old child drowned during a trip to a river yesterday. Little masko-dine Foster of Lampard District in Frankfield was playing with a group of boys in the Rio Minnow when he reportedly got into difficulties. They were not being supervised by an adult. The police say they were called to the scene about 2 p.m. and the boy's body removed from the water. Deputy Mayor of Maypen and Councillor for the Frankfield Division, Clive Mundell, was saddened by the tragedy. He is urging parents to fulfill their responsibility to ensure their children's safety at rivers which often do not have lifeguards. Fishermen glad to be home for New Year after U.S. saga. The 4 Jamaican fishermen who returned from the United States last evening were in high spirits, and their relatives were relieved to have them safely back home after more than 2 months detained in the U.S. without charge after being accused of drug trafficking in what lawyers have called a breach of their rights. The men have reportedly been left traumatized by their detention, which started on October 11 when their boat, Lady Lala, was boarded by the United States Coast Guard. Their ordeal ended yesterday when they were released from U.S. custody. Earlier this week, the attorneys of the men, Anthony Clark, Captain, Radcliffe Simmons, Howard Patterson, and Warren Rowe, raised an alarm over their continued detention after a U.S. judge had ordered their release more than a week ago. They only learned late Wednesday night that they would be home for the new year when one of them was tapped on the shoulder and advised that their departure was set for early Thursday morning. The 4 men landed without passport and with one suit of clothing on their back, the detention suit, because their clothes and personal belongings, including passports, were taken by the U.S. Coast Guard, Attorney Bert Samuels said. After their arrival, the men were whisked to Samuels' office by David Chin, owner of the vessel, which was eventually destroyed by U.S. authorities for a debriefing before heading into quarantine as per COVID-19 protocols. They thought they would have spent the new year in what I would call Babylon, but they were able to leave the wretched United States and come home to Jamaica. So they are happy to be home with their families, but they really need counseling based on how they were treated, Samuel said, adding that the men were threatened with long prison sentences. They really need counseling, and their families as well, who fear that the false charges might be brought against them to justify the destruction of the boat. So they are entirely relieved that they are here, he added. Samuels said he was disappointed that the only official who has so far spoken out against the men's detention was outgoing U.S. Ambassador Donald Tapia. In addition to bringing legal charges against several United States agencies and personnel, the attorney at law said there needs to be a suspension and review of the shipwrighter agreement under which the U.S. was granted authority to detain the Jamaicans who were held in international waters, reportedly on their way to Venezuela to purchase fish. We need to investigate this matter deeply because it seems to be that Jamaica is not an equal partner in the shipwrighter agreement, and so it should be terminated until this matter is resolved, said Samuels, adding that he would be pursuing legal redress for false imprisonment, breach of the fishermen's human rights to liberty and freedom, breach of diplomatic rights, the confiscation of passports, which belong to the Jamaican state, and for piracy and destruction of the Lady Lala, both for its value, which is over US $600,000, and for the loss of the vessel since October 12 last year. Beenie Man served a summons for illegal party. Popular entertainer Beenie Man is to appear in court on February 10 after he was served with a summons on Thursday for breaches of the Disaster Risk Management Act and the Noise Abatement Act.
St. Elizabeth, if you know the party they reach, so you know say on New Year's Eve, or you have to ring in the New Year's, and I care who wants it. So if you know where the party there, you have to there, the party name 12 to 7. So we have bonfire, and you know some music, you know everything good. So, you know, walk with the money. Yeah. If you have come and broke, you alone it go sweet. Walk with the money. That way I did. Good, bless.
The police say was picked up in the Brompton community in St. Elizabeth. He was taken to the Black River police station where he was served with the summons. It comes after the entertainer was accused of hosting an entertainment event in St. Elizabeth on November 29 in contravention of the Disaster Risk Management Act. Jamaica records 88 new COVID cases, 1 death. Jamaica recorded 1 additional COVID-19 related death and 88 new cases of the virus yesterday. This brings the country's death toll to 303 and the total number of confirmed cases to 12,915. According to the Ministry of Health and Wellness, the latest death is that of a 74-year-old woman from Trelawney. Of the 88 newly reported cases, there were 48 males and 40 females with ages ranging from 33 days to 95 years. Kingston and St. Andrew and St. Catherine each recorded 19 cases, while Clarendon recorded 11, and Trelawney and St. Anne recorded 6 cases each. Manchester, Westmoreland, St. James recorded 5 cases each. St. Thomas and St. Elizabeth recorded 4 cases, and Portland recorded 3. The country also recorded 149 patient recoveries, bringing the total number of recoveries to 10,532. 129 schools cleared for face-to-face learning, says Education Ministry. The Ministry of Education, Youth and Information says an additional 129 schools have been approved for face-to-face teaching and learning starting next term. According to a statement from the ministry today, these schools have been allowed a 2-week period from January 4 to 18 to fine-tune their preparations for schooling. This follows the ministry's pilot program, which ran from October to December. Portfolio Minister Favour Williams said that the focus for this term is the preparation of children for their exit exams, CSEC, City and Guilds, CAPE, and CTVET, and the primary exit profile, PEP exams. Grade 6 students at the primary level are scheduled to sit the first of 2 components of the PEP exam, the ability test, on February 23, 2021. The ministry will also be offering additional special learning interventions. Students will be provided with fully funded access to Edifocal and one-on-one educational service in preparation for PEP and other external exams. Additionally, a mobile student support initiative will be launched on January 18, 2021 to focus on the students who have not been consistently engaged in the last school term, the minister explained. In addition, the ministry said it will be providing after-school classes to small groups of 5 for 2 hours, twice per week, using the schools, church halls, community centers, USF community access points, the Jamaica Library Service locations, and other temporary learning spaces. The minister also urged parents and the wider community to get children off the streets and engage in schoolwork using the different modalities available for teaching and learning. In providing an update to the COVID task force and the principals of schools approved for face-to-face teaching, Williams said all students and teachers are expected to utilize one or a combination of the ministry's approaches to ensure that the education of students continue despite the COVID-19 pandemic. No child in Jamaica of school age should be seen sitting around idly or on the road going to the corner shop or doing housework during school time, which is designated as 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Monday to Friday, Minister Williams said, as she outlined plans for the new school term, which starts January 4, 2021. The minister said that children who were not using any of the available teaching or learning engagement online or the visual learning kit face-to-face were in danger of falling way behind. Attending school, whether virtual, remote or face-to-face, is still a requirement. Let us work together to stop the learning loss. We ask all parents, guardians, community members, Jamaicans, all to be supportive as you can of our students. Encourage them during this trying period, she said. Williams said the ministry will also launch the Learning Kit Challenger and the Learning Kit Motivator for those students who are performing below expectation. Crime-fighting measures to be intensified this year, says Chang. National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang says the government will be intensifying measures to curtail crime this year. While speaking in an interview, Dr. Chang said that the government is providing the Jamaica Constabulary Force, JCF, with the necessary tools to improve its efficiency. Dr. Chang says particular focus will be placed on tackling gangs, corruption, and public disorder. Crime fighting is not a lot of new things to be done, you know. It's a matter of keeping the intensity up and providing the police force with the requisite tools, both physically and legislatively, to deal with what is an endemic, chronic problem in Jamaica, he noted, adding that the force also needs more recruits and at the same time, more programs are necessary to deviate youths from joining gangs. Jamaica extends ban on flights from the UK. The government of Jamaica has extended the ban on flights from the United Kingdom until January 31, 2021. The travel ban was originally scheduled to end on January 4. The measure is aimed at preventing the transmission of the new COVID-19 strain, which has been widely detected in the UK. According to the Health Ministry, Jamaicans arriving through other countries within 14 days of leaving the UK will be tested and placed in state quarantine for 48 hours. If their results return a negative sample, they will be released into home quarantine, and if positive, they will be transferred to state isolation. However, non-Jamaicans who have been in the UK for up to 14 days before seeking to visit Jamaica through other countries will be banned. On December 21, Jamaica allowed the final flight from the United Kingdom. 20 of the passengers tested positive and have since been in state quarantine. The analysis of their samples from the Caribbean Public Health Agency to determine if they are positive for the new COVID strain will soon be provided to the Health Ministry. At the same time, the ministry says the government is working with various airlines to support the repatriation of UK residents who are in Jamaica and wish to go back home. Cargo flights are continuing to the UK. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.